What's up, fellas? Happy Saturday. Uh, Glad you all made it to the weekend. Some of you, unfortunately, might be working. Fortunately, I'm not. I'm on call just in case, any big guy stuff happens, like trees falling down or sinkholes or whatever, things that somebody deems an emergency for the roads. And then we go in and do what we got to do to make the roads safe. So it's a rare event. Usually it's trees. Wintertime, it's icy spots and that kind of stuff. But usually spring and summertime like this, it ends up being tree related. Sometimes we'll get a sinkhole or something in the road that we'll either have to shut it down or do something or put a steel plate over it, something like that. So on with today's shave going with the ABC of shaves. We are on K. So I have my Karat 14 2.0, which is one of my favorite razors. And a double whammy, I have my Kel's Original Arabian Spice Soap, which is a pretty nice soap. Don't use it that often, but I do like the smell of it, and it's pretty good performance soap and all. So that's it for the K's. And then the brush is one of my usual RazoRock, my 400 RazoRock synthetic, which always does a really good job. And I like the weight of the handle and the size of it. It's a really nice brush and all. So me and the missus went and did we went over my folks and I dropped off some stuff for them. Being real careful with them because they're up in age a little bit, in their 70s and all. So, and my mom's got some health issues and all, so she's been dealing with doctors and everything here lately and all. Gonna have to have a procedure done here next week. So hopefully everything with that will go all right. So, and then work has now, I think my county executive started feeling like he was a little bit left out of all the goings on and such. So he decided that he had to make us a week on, a week off, and divide up into 2 different crews for each district. So now one of us is going to be, we're one crew. We got crew number 1, which I'm crew number 1 because, I'm one of the best of the best of the best. So we're number 1, yay. Number 1 crew is going to be on all next week. And then starting at the end of the day on Friday, then the other crew's on call for the weekend and they're on all next week after that. And we're going to do that for the next 4 weeks until they decide on whether they want to continue doing it or go back to normal, which my county, I would have to say, has been lightly impacted by the Chinese flu, Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it. I don't know anybody personally that's had it. And when I did have to go to the emergency room to have the ultrasound and all that stuff, they were basically unaffected there at the hospital, which is like 15 minutes away from my house and all. So, down in Baltimore, I know there's been some nursing homes that got hit pretty hard out west of Baltimore and all. And then down around the DC area, I think there might be some more cases and all. I'm not sure what the latest numbers are for Maryland, where I'm at in Maryland and all. So, but we're not doing anywhere near like New York City or down in Louisiana and other places in Chicago where you're hearing about all this stuff. So I'm glad that, they're doing everything they can to be preventing things from getting bad, but sometimes I think then they go too far the other way and then they get scared of the boogeyman and And then you hear and read about the police coming breaking up different places, and people all staying in their cars in the parking lot and having a church service where they can tune into a short range broadcasted FM sermon. And the cops all show up and want to break up all the people that are sitting in their cars, separate from everyone with the windows up, all listening to the radio together as a congregation. And they're threatened with $500 fines if they don't disperse. Which, if I had to guess, probably the rank and file officers probably don't agree with that, but and the bureaucrats and all, and elected officials and all, are all pissed off that the people aren't supposedly respecting their stay-at-home order. So, I mean, if you can use common sense and apply it to the thing and saying, okay, well, no one's endangering anybody else by possibly infecting them. I mean, I went to the grocery store today and was wearing the mask that my wife made me, and stayed apart 6 feet or more apart from everybody, and they've got plastic screens in between me and the cashier, and one-way traffic in the aisles, so you don't have to walk past anybody and get too close. I mean, everybody's kind of using common sense, and I don't think we need to be going to church parking lots and breaking up gatherings of people separated in their vehicles. I think that's a little much. I mean, I'm glad to hear if any of you guys agree or disagree or anything like that. I'm all ears. I know my wife is a little bit more of a do what everybody tells you kind of person, and I tend to be a little bit more of a question authority kind of person, which is kind of odd when you consider my military background. But I mean, that goes totally against how the Army has to operate, but I'm a civilian now, and I always question people's motives. And if I see somebody that I think acting like they're they're going into their little Napoleon or Stalin kind of thing, some little buddy that, you know, maybe didn't have a whole lot of friends in junior high and was a hall monitor and got atomic wedgies and all that stuff, and now they're a bureaucrat, and now we got a bug going around, and they got a little bit of authority, and they want to throw their weight around. So, anywho, enough rambling about that. So, went down here this evening before I made dinner and organized up the loading bench, and changed over my progressive press from 45 to 40 Smith & Wesson, and started loading some ball ammo in 40 Smith & Wesson. Gonna do a couple hundred of them maybe, and I gift them. Probably gonna gift about 100 rounds to one of the guys at work. That is always real helpful, good guy, and all. So it's usually reciprocal with things like that with me and him. So sometimes I help him out with stuff, and sometimes he helps me out with stuff. So he just like on here. I mean, hell, Dave sent me samples and let me sharpen up some of his razors, and I sent him down a razor and all, and everything. So try to keep the yin and the yang and all that stuff where it's not a one-way street. I was always told or taught when I was a kid and everything that always be mindful of that. So I never like to show up at a party empty-handed, and I always try to pay back somebody if they've done me a favor or things like that and all. Very mindful of that. So, but let's see. Weather's been going up and down here. It gets warm, then it gets cold, gets warm, then it gets cold, but that's Maryland in the spring. And now got the shed, started to get the shed cleaned out and organized here a couple of days ago. Got a little bit more work to do, and then basically just making room so it's easier for me to get the old Ducati out and I'll take it for a ride now that the weather's broke. So, and after this next week, then I'll have a whole week off. So, might make a few phone calls and try to gather up the boys and get out for a ride here one of these days. And got a group of guys that I usually go out with. We haven't been able to do it as much as we used to, and all, but head on up into Pennsylvania, up in the country, and head down some windy roads and exceed the speed limit every now and then, and just enjoy the camaraderie of that. So everything's looking pretty good. The scent on this soap, it's called Arabian Spice. It's hard to describe what it is. It's a pleasant smell. I don't know, kind of smells maybe a little bit like a Dr. Pepper with a little bit of extra spices and all in it or something. It has a little bit of a sweet aroma. It's got like a sweetness to it, but not that sweet. It's a nice scent. I have no idea what the scent notes would be. Not that refined. I don't know. Maybe one of you other guys has it, or if one of you guys don't have it and you want me to send you a sample because you'd like to check it out. I believe it's because it says Ultra Aloe Blend, handcrafted shaving soap. I don't know what the ingredients are, but it's kind of, well, it might be hard to see, whether you can see. It almost has kind of a, looks like it's like a glycerin-based soap maybe, because it's kind of clear. And it's like a really dark brown color and all, but you can see with the light really bright, you can see through to the bottom of you can see the shiny, the metal tin through the soap. So it's like looking through some brown glass or something. So I'd say it's glycerin. I'm 99% sure it's not tallow. It wouldn't be transparent like that. But it's a decent soap. I'm not going to say it's like a oh my god wow soap, but it does a good job, and it's got a nice smell. So, and then I don't know, there's not really a whole lot of aftershaves that are going to be scented like that or whatever. I'm just going to go with one of my old standbys, Tayback. So hope you guys are all having a good weekend and have avoided any sickness. And sounds like old Dangerous Don's wife's doing really good with her pregnancy. My daughter-in-law is in the home stretch. She's only got technically 3 weeks to go if she don't go early. So she's going to be having a baby, and of course her and my wife are going batshit crazy about all that and the first grandbaby and everything. So it's that's turned into its whole thing here, but then it's all gotten a little bit subdued and blunted because of the Chinese virus. So a baby shower got canceled and a wedding got canceled. My other brother-in-law and all his daughter got married today, but it was just the close family and everything like that, and then they FaceTimed their grandmothers and everything, and so they could see it and be a part of it, or watch it, which is kind of bizarre when you think about it. So everything's all wacky and out of the ordinary, and I'm just hoping everything gets back to normal, or as normal as it can be, as soon as possible. So I'm hopeful that within the next couple 2-3 weeks here or something, that they'll start to lighten up on some of this stuff in the lesser affected areas. And so that's my hope anyway. So looking at coming up on 18 minutes, not long, not short. So take it easy, guys. Good seeing you. Check everything out and watch everybody else's videos on the forum there. And tomorrow's gonna be L. Ooh, I don't have any L razors. I just have a L soap. So, but I'll be able to keep on going. I pretty much got everything. I got me a list here. Dave made up a list. I made up a list. Looks like there's going to be maybe 3 letters that I might not be able to do. I still haven't found any soaps or razors and all that I'm going to be able to use for them, unless I start really looking hard on eBay and bid in something just to have something for it, which I kind of don't think I'm going to do, but who knows. I'm bored. Take it easy. Have a good one, guys.